All right, welcome to. That's good. Okay. I guess you just glowing more than I am because you have the white shirt.
No, I'm shaved up, baby.
You got the shade and the white shirt with the light reflecting off the shirt. So it's like you're even more effulgent. So it's hard for me to even see myself.
Fruits and vegetables and water. It's
Exactly.
the fruits, vegetables, water.
Yeah, you're right.
Taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, but you see the glow, the natural glow, the
Soul
aura.
glow. It's the soul glow.
Soul glow. Yeah.
Soul glow.
You let it shine.
Yeah. And a little bit of Murray's pomade.
Okay, the Murrays. All right, welcome to our Friday Flex. This is your host, Keith and Joseph. And,
flexing over here.
Yeah. Compulsory flex.
Yeah, compulsory.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Get it in.
And so this week we will talk, or today's topic is opportunity when they knock, and the mind of an opportunist. Get it?
The mind of an opportunist.
Mind of an opportunist. It sounds crazier than it is. It's actually really simple. So the inspiration for this topic was I'm in this chat group, and a lot of inspirational topics get posted, and the one topic that came up was about opportunities, and in regards to how a person, depending on their passion, can see opportunities in anything. So, for example, the example was given that a thief never wastes time never wastes time with places and being in places where there's no opportunities. They're always trying to find the best opportunities. Someone who is, let's say, the appropriate word, someone who is lustful after the opposite, or you're saying, sex, will always find opportunities to find that activity or to make time for that activity. And so how someone who is in the position of...
I'm hearing opportunity knock right now. I'm like, why is my stomach rumbling like this? Sorry.
But someone who, let's say, for example, a business owner, someone who is a parent, will find opportunities to either make an extra phone call, to give an extra business card, or a parent will find more time to have to read to their child or to take their child somewhere, because the person that has this mindset of always utilizing their time, no matter what it is, does not worry about any hiccups, any bumps in the road, which stops them from getting their ultimate goal. And I thought it was really interesting in this post because there was a comparison. The comparison was between those who have a ideal or a favorable mindset and the unfavorable mindset. And the unfavorable mindset was one in which that person finds opportunity in those things which need not be found or need not be utilized. And so when we think about someone who is a thief, we notice that with thieves in general, if they see some money on the table, they see something left outside, they see somebody that may not have their backpack zipped up properly, may not have, so many different things that in the mind of a criminal, these things are just, it's always on. They're always alert to the idea of, oh, that person forgot to check their door. Let me jiggle the door. We've experienced that here on Greenwood, where some people have jiggled the door, found out in one scenario there was actually a purpose of security. The other person jiggled the door just to see if it was open and they can get in and probably play chess or any other thing. Who knows? We have a shower and all these other things here, so who knows what their intentions could have been. But they don't skip a moment to find an opportunity. And we think about in our day-to-day life, are we doing that same? Are we that vigilant to find opportunities to better ourselves? And most of the time, opportunities knock.
Come in. No, I'm sorry. I had to do it. Avon. All right, Mary Kay, go ahead and break it down for us.
But most of the time, we don't take advantage of it. It was funny. I have a mentee who, for the next 4 weeks, will be here, kind of shadowing in the office and just watching the day-to-day activities. And so one of the regimens that I have him on is that I said, hey, we're going to work on personal development. I said, because before you start anything, the mind has to be suitable for whatever the task is. And so I said, personal development is going to be on our agenda as your outline for the week or next couple weeks. And my mentee shared with me that sometimes when he knows he needs to do something beneficial for himself, he's fearful. And that fear sometimes debilitates him or prevents him from doing that which is necessary. And I thought that was fascinating, especially in regard to this topic, is because we don't often think that if we don't act on opportunities out of fear. But there is some level of fear to it, because if we, whether it's the fear of success or fear of failure. And I know that most of the time in society we have a feeling of failure, which is the most depressing feeling one can have, because it's like I didn't do it, I didn't hit the mark, I didn't succeed, and we're taught in school, hey, if you fail, you're bad, or if you fail, you're stupid, or any other thing that any connotation that goes with failure. However, when it comes to opportunities, those that do take advantage of them are not really so concerned about failure. They just see this is something that is within my grasp, and I can.
I'm listening very carefully.
And this is something that I may be able to get if I try, if I endeavor, if I work on it. And that fear of failure may be present, but it's not so debilitating that they do not act. And so those who are in the position of, if you have any level of responsibility in this world, whether it's your family, to society, even to your own self, we must take advantage of the opportunities that present us themselves, so that we can be better, or that we can create a better society, or create a better society or be better for ourselves, and that allows us to inspire others. A few weeks ago, we talked about this yoga or this ancient yoga verse that explains that whatever action a great person performs, common people follow. Whatever standards they set by exemplary acts, the whole world pursues. And so, this idea of acting on opportunity is in line with that that kind of mindset, with that particular verse in the Gita. And whenever we're looking at ourselves, we should ask ourselves: are we, if there's an opportunity to exercise, are we doing that? If there's an opportunity to read, to gain a better perspective, are we doing that? If there's an opportunity to communicate with our loved one, are we doing that? Or are we scrolling online? Or are we, and I can call myself out.
What was that thing called? What was that game? Mm-hmm. You said the individual was playing?
Chess?
No, not you. Talk about, I don't know all the games because I don't.
GTA.
What was that? Grand
Theft Auto. Yeah.
Or am I taking the opportunity to play Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. Exactly. These things are there, and it's like we have when there's opportunity, and this kind of segments, and we won't get so deep into it because I know in the past series we kind of sprinkled a little bit of information on this topic, but the idea of the different qualities of nature and modes of nature, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, but oftentimes they're.
Yeah, I just every now and then I look at the camera and I don't know why I feel like I look like Piccolo from I just don't have the terminal. But I was like, let me check my ears. My ears actually sticking out like that. I mean, over here sitting there looking like Piccolo. Like, that dude is cool too. I like Piccolo, but I was like,
oh yeah, you could actually play him in a anime. Just put some baggy clothes on.
That's easy to do.
And some antlers.
Oh, I can get those.
I don't know if antlers. I guess those antennas, maybe whatever they call them.
Whatever they want to call them.
Whatever they want to call them. But we spoke about previously before the concept of the different qualities of nature, and how the different qualities of nature have their corresponding colors, their corresponding actions, their corresponding feelings, textures, all these things. And so flavors as well. And
did you say sound vibration as well?
And sound vibration. I didn't say it, but you took it right out of my mouth.
I don't want to do that.
Take it.
No. So mommy bird me. Nope. Not gonna happen on this show.
So these modes of nature have their corresponding activities, and so there's also corresponding thoughts or inclinations that go with these different modes, and those who are considered to be in the mode of ignorance or darkness or inertia, would that be, I guess, the right word? When they find opportunities, it is in those things in which are not beneficial to anyone. Because those who are in the mode of ignorance find opportunity to steal, to kill, to abuse, to usurp, and those activities which are by nature diabolical. And they will find everything in which, within their realm, whether that they can see or that they can manipulate by some type of exertion, to acquire that good or that thing which they desire. And they don't care who's in the way. They don't care what kind of prohibitions are there to stop them from doing it. But they will do it no matter what. And this is devastating, one, to their consciousness, their mind, society, and depending on the level of destruction, this world, or potentially other planets. And I say other planets because you have sometimes people in power that have the ability to send certain things up in space. I remember hearing that for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the U.S. or another powerful country, sent a nuke up in space. And I think this was for the most recent eclipse?
Recently.
I feel like it was the most recent eclipse. Some country thought it would be a great idea to send a missile up in space to counteract or whatever the goal was. And the idea was, by sending this weapon, we can affect change. However good the idea may seem in theory, because there's no proper understanding of space, that country felt it was a good idea to send a nuclear weapon. And I believe it was a nuclear weapon. I just want to double check. But you see how this idea of opportunity does not change based off of, this idea of opportunity is always present in the mindset of actually everyone. However, the possibility of the positive search for opportunity is oftentimes what's missing. Let me see if I can find that. Well, I felt like it was more recent, but it says that 1962 a nuclear weapon was detonated in space. But I feel like there was...
Who was saying that? Only reason why I say that because there's Google, and anyone can put anything on Google, and then you have scientific journals and so forth like that, more legit, bona fide sources of information.
Also, Scientific America. I can, yeah.
There's certain places where legit things are posted. In the university, they don't allow us to use Google. I'm just being honest. They don't allow us to reference Google or anything of that nature, or Wikipedia, for any legit information. I guess they call that fake news.
Fake news. Okay.
But in terms of that, I don't know if that is a real situation. Not saying that it never happened. I can see why someone will put a nuke in space. They don't know what it's going to do. Why put it around too many people? They do it in deserts. Why not do something in the ocean or do something, if someone's going to test something. So I can understand if someone would do that, but I don't know if, what source, who is saying and where is it coming from. I don't know how to determine that right now.
Yeah, the source, I'll have to find the source, but it has been talked about as being done, and I will confirm how many times it's been sent in space. The point, the overall point of that is that even people who think they have good intentions find an opportunity to do what they think is good, but in actuality, it's actually devastating to those that are close. And you mentioned nukes in the water.
Harm a lot of people.
Harm a lot of people.
Because it pollutes the water, then, you know, someone drinks that water, it's contaminated, or eats the fish, exactly.
Yeah.
You have what is referred to as biomass accumulation, which is unique, where even if it gets into the plankton and zooplankton, a lot of those things actually get absorbed easily through those zooplankton and phytoplankton, and then the small fish eat that plankton, and then of course another fish that's a little bit bigger eats that smaller fish, and you can imagine a larger fish, to the point where it just keeps continuously accumulating inside the belly of the bigger fish to the point where they're just completely toxic. Therefore, they're not encouraged to eat fish out of the Detroit River. They say if it's a fatty fish or a certain type of fish, a certain size, they say not to eat it.
Oh.
There's signs on the Detroit River. And it may not have to be just Detroit River. I'm sure there may be other cities, but I'm just giving an example.
Did you swim in that river?
Yeah, and there was one of those bags that people have, an IV bag was floating in the water with a needle. I was like, oh,
did you have like a swimsuit on or something?
oh yeah, I had a swimsuit on, not a hazmat suit or anything like that. I wasn't wearing any, personal protective equipment, no PPE, but no, I was swimming.
Oh man.
I was younger. That's Detroit, baby. Pure Michigan.
Finding opportunities to swim within the
I didn't know it was there.
The needles. And
when you see all that stuff floating by, you're like, ooh, ooh. You kind of, you do it like this to push the water away from.
Oh man.
Inner city life, I love it.
Yeah, that wasn't my experience. Thank God.
That's Belle Isle specifically.
Yeah, Belle Isle. So, yeah. So the most people who are influenced by media, society's perspective, is enamored by so many advertisements that are not beneficial, that we make time to take advantage of those opportunities, but those things in which are helpful, we don't take advantage of those. You mentioned, well, I mentioned it, and you mentioned it again. We had our mentee has his assignment. He's only here 4 hours a day, and his assignment was to read and to watch audiobooks and just take notes, right? And somehow or another, I guess through boredom or through just trying to break the monotony, he decided to get on GTA, get on my computer, and log in to my Wi-Fi and just play video games on GTA. So I get this that evening. I get a message from Cox. Community guidelines have been broken on your server. Please check details. And so I'm like, I've never received this before. Not on my. It's like, who has access to my internet?
Well, you took the opportunity to give it to him.
What do I know? What do I know? I thought he was just trying to watch videos. Stuff I sent him. Anyway, and so, and I'm like, okay, so I log in and I see GTA, Grand Theft Auto, something version. And it happened to be that the version of Grand Theft Auto that he was using was a pirated copy. And if you all know anything about pirated copies, there are systems and entities, companies out there that look to make sure stuff is being, see what's being pirated, so they can assess a fine potentially to that individual. I don't know if you all remember back in the day, LimeWire and all those other downloading sites where you can get music that just came out without paying for it.
So LimeWire, and what was the other one? Starts with
Napster.
Yeah. I never used those things, but I knew everyone else that did.
Yeah.
All they did was talk about it in school.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school with this guy.
No. Yeah, two different lifestyles growing up. And so anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so the version that he has is pirated, and I'm like, oh man, why? I was thinking to myself, why not just do the assignment that you had?
But it's human nature. That's why.
Well, I just want to know why he did me that way. So, but I realized that, as a young kid, and sometimes when you're bored, the mind decides to do things which will entertain it. And so therefore we find different opportunities. And the mind is an opportunist depending on what position of nature that it sits in. And so his mind said, well, even though I'm getting paid to be here, to learn, I'm going to play video games. And I thought to myself, of course, I'll address it with him on Monday. But I understood how it is very easy to succumb to acting on opportunities which are not helpful in one's life. From a perspective, a holistic perspective, if I can say that. And this idea of, I'll just scroll for 5 more minutes, We're taking opportunities there, right? Got my phone, I can scroll, may find something. That 5 minutes turns to 20. 20 minutes turns to an hour. Hour turns into, I was supposed to eat, I haven't eaten yet. And so we see that we're taking, and I can speak for myself, that there are times in which, after I'm kind of shaken out of my illusion, I'm like, wow, I could have read for an hour. I could have looked at some recipes, figured out what I could have made. I could have spent 30 minutes in the gym. Mind you, just a side note, so because of his dynamic weight loss and transformation, his glow, his effulgence, his Piccolo-esque kind of, structure right now, he's inspired me to go to the gym. And shout out to the Y. My wife's been going to YMCA. Just found out it can be added to the membership, and I can take the baby with me, and they have daycare. So I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'll do in the morning. So I realized, okay, my goal is to get down to 195. Got 30 pounds. 35 pounds.
Easy. Lightweight. Ain't nothing but a peanut.
Nothing but a peanut.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. And so I said, how can I do this workout in the most efficient amount of time? So I said, okay.
And effective.
and effective.
You can be efficient, but it doesn't always guarantee that it's effective. So to be effective and efficient.
So the 2 E's, double E.
Not easy E.
Effective, efficient. So I realized, okay, I got 30 minutes. What can I do within 30 minutes to target different parts of my body?
They only give you 30 minutes?
No, in my head, I was creating this time window because I was like, I want to weightlift for 30. I want to do cardio for at least 10.
Of those 30 minutes?
No, after, so 40
Okay.
minutes. Yeah. 30 minutes weightlift.
Okay.
10 minutes cardio, and then the shower, get changed, and then grab the baby. Because I wanted to do this within an hour.
I'm going to do everything within an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was trying to calculate time in the sense of how can I get all these things done within this short time frame. And mind you, for my first time having to check the baby in, having to, stretch and all these other things, there was some factors I didn't really take into consideration. But I'm narrowing it down so that when I do get to the gym, I'm in, do what I need to do, effective and efficient, shower, change, and I can leave. And so this type of habit it inspired me actually, because I thought, okay, if I can do this, there's 24 hours in a day. If I can, within this hour, do what's most beneficial for my body, then if I do this enough, meaning frequently or on a routine basis, 3 to 4 times a week, then by me taking that opportunity, I will get results within a short period of time. And that was a paradigm shift for me, because often when I think about me taking care of the baby, I think I don't really have time to exercise. It's like there has to be so much attention that
Has to be so much attention where?
to watch the baby.
That's actually a blessing. It is an opportunity. I'm just saying it actually is an opportunity if you see it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you can be holding your baby doing squats.
It's dangerous, but yeah.
Not that you're reckless. I'm just saying if you're playing with your child, you can be doing so many different things. But it's if one sees the opportunity.
So maybe when the baby gets older, because sometimes, things can happen. Body could slip, arms get weak. Babies are heavy, I see where you're going. And yes, you're right. Yes, because it was mentioned, having time with your child is very important. And
Gotta maximize it.
And if there's an opportunity for the child to spend time with other babies, or that's also beneficial. Socializing, so that one can do other things. And ideally, as a parent, we often find out that exercising as a parent is one of the most difficult things to do. It's any parent right now who's watching can attest to. It's a little harder to become regulated when you have another human being that needs you, especially in the earlier stages. When they get older, it's like, you do your thing, and so anyway, So as I was putting this kind of format of time together, I was thinking, okay, I can be much more efficient with my time and effective with my time if I am looking at opportunities in the sense of will it help my body? Will it help my mind? Will it help my social interactions? Will it help my relationship with God, with divinity? Will it make my day easier? Will it make my life easier? These kind of opportunities, when we look at them in that kind of sense, then we become those people or that person who is inspiring others by their actions. And instead of this idea of, let me just binge on television, let me just binge on my phone, let me just eat whatever because it's there, let me just rob somebody because it's free money.
Because I can.
Because I can. It's sad. One thing that came to mind about this opportunist kind of mindset in the digital crypto space, there are thieves, opportunists that wait until a currency is getting ready to hit the market. Some of these individuals will go so far as to join the actual company, get details of the work, and then create their own duplicate coin so that when the coin launches, people can invest in the duplicate coin, which has no value, and people put all this money in and they're gone. They even have AI that does that. And it's like these individuals, if they could only use that mindset for good, I mean, imagine the kind of wonderful things that could happen with someone who, instead of destroying a space, creates a positive kind of environment, creates a enterprise, and so forth. And if you talk to anyone that's in the crypto space, they'll tell you, yeah, I've had hundreds of thousands, millions stolen by these individuals who saw an opportunity to, they saw a system was not proper and it could be manipulated, and therefore they jump in and they steal everything, or they tarnish everything because of that desire. And so this, I know I mentioned that sometimes we don't take advantage of opportunities because of fear. But the reality is we take advantage of opportunities all the time. It's just the quality of the opportunities that we don't take advantage of. So I just want to add that catalyst. I've been speaking.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of things. So yeah, 3 things. First thing I mentioned, very super quick and brief. Of course, just so that there's no confusion. Going to the gym, exercising, yes. Resistance training, I should say. That's important. Cardio is also good too, to even help with burning the fat that has been released, right? But of course, also keep in mind drinking plenty of water, yes, and a caloric deficit. So if one is exercising, that's good. But if one is trying to lose weight, there still has to be some type of caloric deficit. So that could be adjusted, has to be done in a healthy way and not in a reckless way, because that could be detrimental in many ways. You don't want to not eat enough food is what I'm trying to say. But you have to create some type of caloric deficit so that there is a steady weight loss. When I lost the first 20 pounds, I wasn't even going to the gym. I created a caloric deficit because I was not overeating, and I was eating, I felt like I was eating too much still, but I created a caloric deficit, and the first 20 pounds that came off, it was like no big deal in one sense. So that's one aspect. The second thing I mentioned goes all the way back to me about 40 minutes ago when you were describing or speaking about the mint tea. That there is a fear, failure. I would probably like to sprinkle in the word loss. The reason why I'm mentioning loss is that sometimes as individuals, we take advantage of a certain opportunity, or we may miss out on an opportunity because we feel that we may lose certain individuals in our lives. Sometimes we may be attached to certain people or friends or whatever like that, or maybe they may not even be our friends, but we may think that have some significance into our lives. And so in neuro-linguistic programming is referred to as ecology, that sometimes when we as an individual, we may pursue a goal or a dream, and we obtain that degree, we obtain that goal, but then all the other individuals in our lives could be friends, family members, so on. They're looking at us like, oh, so you think you're better than us. And that was not our intention. Our intention was actually, to one, improve ourselves, become a better person, and then see if we can actually create an opportunity for others to grow. So our intention was healthy in one sense, but unfortunately, not everyone may see or appreciate that. And then we see it, unfortunately, too many times within our communities that one person, again, does something that is amazing, made a lot of sense, and was brilliant, but not everyone is able to appreciate it. And unfortunately, they end up losing or I don't want to use the word excommunicated, but we'll just say rejected in some way, shape, or form by certain individuals. Maybe individuals who may not been able to see what this person was trying to do. The third thing I'll point out is in regards to opportunities. A lot of times it's very easy that we get caught up in, or instead of using the word caught up, a lot of times we may take advantage of opportunities that are not beneficial. Because again, there are infinite opportunities, as you were rightly pointing out, but we may take up opportunities that are not beneficial to our progress, to our growth, to our development as an individual. And in short, one thing that I'll point out regarding that is when we do not have a vision. If we don't have a focus, a vision, a goal in terms of where we want to go, if we're basically just saying that if we don't measure, like if we want to be successful, like it could be weight loss, you have to set a goal, and then you actually have to measure your calories that you're taking in. You have to measure, what you're doing in the gym, how many pounds or kilograms you're lifting, see how you can grow and build up there. How many steps you're taking each day. That's another great cardio and weight loss opportunity as well. So there's so much that needs to be measured. And if we're not measuring, then we're not going to see if we are making progress in the direction that we're trying to go. With the speaker trying to be effective and efficient, it's not going to happen if we don't have a vision, if we don't have a goal. And so, again, if we are In one sense, not having a vision or goal, then, just to be very direct, it's just another form of laziness. That's really what it is. We're just simply being lazy. We're accepting mediocrity. And then we always find ourselves frustrated in terms of why aren't things progressing in the direction that we wanted to go in? Why aren't we seeing the results that we're wanting, or that we had at least had an idea that we would get? And it's simply because we were just simply lazy in our attempts and in our efforts. We're accepting mediocrity. And then we just did not put forth the effort and energy to, hey, let me just go ahead and measure. Let me check my progress. If I don't know something, let me inquire from someone who is perhaps an expert. It could be in weight loss. It could be someone in, any other aspect. Just like if we want to be good at math, you have to get a math tutor. If math is not your forte, but you want to get a good grade in your class, you just got to get a math tutor, or someone that is good at assisting those with a math phobia, in this example. Shout out to Sister Bridget, my mom's teacher.
Okay, all right, Bridget.
You got to give a shout out to these nuns. So when you have someone that is expert at helping those with such phobias, then you get the gains, you get the growth that you want. Just like I had some difficulty with reading and writing years ago, and I was fortunate to have a teacher, Dr. Linda Halbert. Shout outs to her too.
Sister?
Not a sister.
Doctor, sister?
Just doctor. But again, amazing woman. And so, she helped me in a lot of things. I have a lot of teachers I can list, but the point is, these teachers, what you'll notice is that they will give you more work than the other students. Mm. And it's not that they're giving you exercises, because they're just trying to overwhelm you, but they're giving you all these various different nourishing things, exercises that actually give you that growth and, help you to develop and go even deeper and understand things from different perspectives. So they're wanting your success, and so they're going to give you a little bit more work because they are pouring into you, for lack of better words. And so, but not every one of us is fortunate to have someone that will pour into us. And another important detail is that we have to learn how to pour into ourselves too. Even though we may have so many individuals in this world that may present some form of inspiration to us, they may be the sunshine of my life. I think that is quoting the great philosopher Stevie Wonder. Yeah. But even though that is a very beautiful song, you are the sunshine of my life, but at the end of the day, we also have to be the sunshine in our own lives. And we have to also see how to inspire and enthuse ourselves. Therefore, we have to have a vision. We just cannot remain lazy. If we're lazy externally, then that also is a reflection of what's happening internally. It's a reflection that we're being lazy. We're not seeking the opportunities of, working on ourselves. And therefore, in the mirror of the heart is usually the example that is given. And we all know how to clean a mirror, even to the point of using Windex and paper towel and then flipping the paper towel over on the backside where it's dry to get the little specks of lint off. Like we all know how to clean a mirror. But one thing as individuals, as even in one sense to say that we're conditioned souls, is that there's also the cheating propensity. And so we have the propensity of cutting corners. And so if you are mindful, if you look in the corners of your mirror, as long as it's not round, but if it's square corners, and you'll see, wow, Joseph's right. There's a little bit of dust even in the corners, like I'm missing something. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is because of this. Although it may seem insignificant, but when we are that much more attentive, even in what may appear to be small, then that means that when we are handling things that are bigger, much bigger than cleaning the mirror, that is. It could be running a business. It could be running a household. It could be running a city. It could be running a country. when we learn these techniques and have these skills of being attentive to even some of these small details, and we're not cutting corners, then that actually allows us to provide even the best and highest quality and to obtain even beyond what we could have ever imagined. Because one sense one can say God helps those who help themselves, you know. But again, if we are constantly cutting corners, then we have no one to blame but ourselves. Because God will only help us to the degree in which we want to help ourselves.
Ideally, we're helping ourselves in a positive way. We're not helping ourselves to other people's things, you know.
Get your hand on my pocket. So I just wanted to make those points because of the fact that as individuals, if we, and that's the beauty of even why our parents raised us the way they do. Because as kids, we think, oh, I don't want to take out the trash. It's dark out there. I remember when I was a little kid, and you got to walk at our old house in Ferguson, you got to walk from the back porch over there to the garage, and on the side of the garage, there's like 2 garbage cans. This is when we had metal aluminum garbage cans, because the garbage man used to like ride on the back of the truck, and he used to lift up each can and throw the trash into the garbage. So, you know, when you know there's a possum sitting right in that tree or a raccoon, it's like you're scared. You're a kid, you don't want to take out the trash. Yeah. And then, of course, don't forget, I think it was 1989 or something like that, E.T. came out. So then you also think about the little E.T. alien over there by the garbage can, E.T. phone home. So you're like, I'm not going over there, you know? And then, so you got little thoughts like that as a kid. But when our parents are showing us, and in fact, my parents, they were so smart how they did it was, they made it as like a family, I don't want to call it Soul Train, but it was like a cleaning like party, like every Saturday morning. I mean, the music was thumping, the house was smelling nice and clean, you know, Mr. Clean, you know, Pine Sol, the Murphy oil soap, you know, the bleach, everything. I mean, the vacuum was getting clean with the Arm & Hammer, you know, baking powder, you know, stuff like that on the carpet, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards, Lysol, you name it, everything. So the whole house is getting clean, the music is going, and we're having a great time. And my parents are showing us how fun it is to actually clean. And my mom, she would show us even how to get down on our hands and knees, and that baseboard where it comes to the carpet, where the vacuum cleaner doesn't get, how to even get that cleaned up, you know, with the cloth. And so
now, Mama Swift, that level of detail, I'll tell you, that's a rarity. And
well, that's why she's an amazing woman, is because
impressive.
of the fact that she has been willing to show us how to look at everything carefully, because in order for someone to even consider looking at cleaning in the corners of even a room, that's because they're also cleaning the corners of their heart. And so if we're not, because again, our environment is merely a reflection of what's going on internally. So if we're being truant and lazy,
what we've been taught,
it's a real reflection. I'm not shooting no fluff. I'm saying something. I'm real, seriously. So I mean, just like stuff I'm working on internally, this weight loss is really about that. It's really a reflection of what I'm working on even internally. Mm. That's why I have a therapist. That's why I'm, you know, working on all these different things. So, so the point is that as we're working on things within ourselves as an individual, and we're trying to move closer into living a fearless life, you know, living an honest life, living our highest truth, and then as we're cleaning the mirror of our heart, then we naturally will see that even externally, and we will clean our home in that fashion, just like my mother was showing us in terms of how to clean certain things of that nature. I mean, and then that home being so clean and clear, I mean, it was so soothing to the senses. An example of this is actually given in actually the Titan Chart Automata. It's called the Clean of the Gundicha Temple. It goes into great details there. Of course, I know not everyone has that book, but that's one reference where you can find it. It actually becomes Rath Yatra Chariot Festival. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to point out, is that when we actually have a vision, we have a goal. And thing is, I'll mention a couple of the few different individuals that have been really successful in this world. The founder of Honda Automotive, I can't remember his name, but that gentleman that founded Honda, like Honda Civic, Honda Accord, stuff like that. Him, and there's been some other, like even the man that did for Nintendo and so forth. One thing that was so unique about these individuals, even though I know I'm referring to people from another country, like Japan, because they have a unique culture and how they do things there. But one thing that actually was common amongst all of them is that they clean the toilet. And it's crazy. And the reason why I say this is because from those individuals that are making big money, Honda, Nintendo, I mean, these are huge companies. They're not little, tiny little places. But they were pointing out that simply by being able to get down and clean little areas like this, it actually kept them grounded and it kept them humble, And in addition to that, obviously, well, there's one other thing I would say, but I won't say it. But I would just keep it simple like that. Is that it's when we have this attitude of gratitude and humility, and then we start seeing that all these other opportunities start to come up in front of us, and we're able to actually take hold of those opportunities, and we don't miss them so easily.
Couple things. Thank you for those points. One thing that I wanted to share before it leaves my mind is that, and this is from NBC News, so unless NBC is credible, if NBC is credible, it explains that May 22nd, 2024, Russia sent a missile up in space. It did not say nuclear weapon, but it said a weapon in space to destroy a American satellite or something like that.
They're always doing that. You said it was Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing new. I mean, that's what they call a Cold War. Like, they're always constantly doing some passive aggressive stuff to each other.
That's pretty aggressive.
So,
don't pass about that.
Well,
yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like there's a war that's announced between Russia and United States. Thus they call it like a Cold War. It's just some passive stuff. So
the reason why I wanted to look for that is because I know that one of the powerful countries is sending missiles up in space. I'm still going to do more research to see if there was ever a nuclear weapon sent or what kind of weapon that was. But anyway, that's just the one point I wanted to mention. But as you're talking about what's in one's heart, it manifests externally or appears externally. And oftentimes, I must say that while more than likely is a rule of thumb, there are always those situations in which, because a person has been raised a certain way for cleanliness, does not mean on an absolute level that they are going to be clean with their thoughts. They're going to be clean with their interactions with other people. They're going to, there's, if a person is raised in a house with let's say if my father was a drill instructor, then you better believe that my bed would be tucked in with a nice 8-inch pleat, and everything would be, my shoes would be arranged perfectly at the door, or they would be in some cubby hold or things like that. Because that is the mindset of a drill instructor. They have, this is how Army says to be, or one of the branches.
Yeah, but that's all external.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because that's just that. But if someone, because you do have some individuals who are like pure devotees, and I'm not referring to them. I'm just saying this as individuals. You do have some people who may be in some environments that, is one thing, but internally that's not really them. But at the end of the day, as individuals, we still have a responsibility to not neglect ourselves.
100% true.
And if we're constantly nourishing ourselves with garbage and not really nourishing ourselves with something that is actually truly beneficial, then that is our responsibility.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and everyone has choices. You can have someone, that is raised in a household with, loving family, whatever like that, and they still end up as a criminal. I'm just saying that those are real situations, because each individual has choices. Everyone has an opportunity, but as individuals, we have opportunities and we have choices that if we actually really want the best for ourselves, so that if we are wanting to nourish and pour into ourselves properly, then we have to seek out those opportunities. If we choose not to, again, that's our choice. But we have no one else to blame for our lack of progress other than ourselves, because that was just a choice that we have willingly and knowingly made.
Yeah. Thank you for highlighting that. I was only wanting to share that the point about cleanliness as a reminder that there are multiple factors between one's external cleanliness and internal cleanliness.
Yeah. We have to make sure those are not excuses either. Because that's just the tendency of just being a conditioned soul. Of course, in perfect senses, we make mistakes, but there's also the cheating propensity, and we deceive ourselves a lot of times.
Those are also factors. Yeah. I think that, to conclude, is that we're all taking advantage of some opportunity. The level of, the type of opportunity is what we must identify, what we must highlight and scrutinize if our opportunity that we're looking at is to be destructive in our relationships, being destructive towards ourselves, being destructive towards our society, to the world. These are opportunities which we should seriously consider revamping or growing out of, and then try to invest develop the mindset, the opportunist mindset to take advantage of eating better, take advantage of picking up that phone call to that friend or loved one or someone who you can tell really needs it.
Yeah, and associating better.
Because
sometimes we associate with people who don't mean well for us. I'm just saying, there's some people who don't have our best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who we neglected, like you said, quoting the great philosopher Stevie Wonder, these 3 words. Yeah. Sometimes you got to give those 3 words, I love you, to someone. Because again, you don't want to miss out on those opportunities of having deep, meaningful relationships with certain individuals, especially knowing very well that these bodies are temporary and we can lose that person at any moment. like that at the snap of a finger. You know, just like the one client of ours who ended up losing his father, just like that. You know, he went off the road, hit a tree, and he never even got a chance to say goodbye. I don't even know if he even got a chance to say I love you or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy reached out to you about his policy, but shortly after that, that was it. You know, and stuff of that nature, those reminders are necessary reminders and very important messages, as we want to call them, to remind ourselves that, hey, you know, we cannot neglect even these things, you know. So we have to be vigilant and attentive to see how we can always improve everything. And that's really my whole point, you know, is that we cannot miss out on these opportunities. Because if we miss something even small and minute, that little small thing, just like a weed in the garden, if I miss this small little weed and I don't address it when it's easy to address, and when it grows to something large, then I cannot manage it because it's too big, you know, and it starts suffocating the rest of my garden. Then again, that's a decision that I made, you know, to overlook that or ignore it or just say, I'm not going to worry about it, I'll save it for later. Yeah. Again, that's one of those propensities of being conditioned soul, cheating and deceiving ourselves.
Yeah. Very, very, very good point. So that concludes everything. I hope that you all enjoyed this topic. And as always, you know, if there's any ideas, concepts, points that you want us to talk about, please message, let us know, and we can go ahead and try to go in depth on these particular subject matters.
Let us know sooner than later.
Ideally, yeah. So.
All right, keep flexing. Keep flexing. Stay hydrated, please, and plenty of water.
Yes.
It's hot out there, man.
Yeah, it's already 81 here.
Oh, look, I was trying to figure out why I was feeling wet. I was thinking the ceiling was dripping or something.
Oh, you sweating?
Yeah, I'm sweating like your name Keith.
All right. Until next time. All right, take care.